The sorrow of 1,000 worlds weighs heavy, and yet you can walk on. Hey everyone, this is going to be a bit different than my usual content. Today I want to talk about how Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker impacted me. Not as a critic, not as a lore theorist, but as a person. This is a personal reflection. I'm not here to analyze the story or claim I've got the right interpretation. I just want to share the emotional journey I went on, and if you finished Endwalker, maybe you felt some of these things too. Endwalker's theme isn't revolutionary. It's your pretty standard theme of friendship and love that you will find in many a video game or anime. When I finished the main scenario of Endwalker, I was in a daze for the first few days afterward. I felt as if my body was filled to maximum capacity with emotions that I couldn't quite place. It took me a while to figure out which scenes I wanted to talk about, but I've narrowed it down to some of the most iconic moments. There were so many parts that just made me feel something, but I think these are the most profound ones. Let's start with the moment Xenos decided to enter the Warrior of Light's body. I was shocked. When I saw the wicked, dead-eyed stare on the face of my character, my stomach dropped. She had never had an expression like that before. Me. I was cold, I was hot, I was angry and flustered. I didn't know a game could make me feel so violated. I laughed because it just felt so absurd. Wait, what? Oh snap. No, what? Are you kidding me? I've dealt with scenarios in life where I've had to do things against my will and been harassed until I gave in. This moment brought all the anger I experienced in those moments right back into me. The sequence afterward was horrible. It was a great addition to the storytelling, don't get me wrong, but I struggled with my feelings and my skill level, and it really hammered home the idea that, alone, things are a lot harder to achieve.
All your hate, all your rage, you will render unto me.
A delightful breeze and a breathtaking view.
This moment brought tears to my eyes. It was quite surprising, honestly. I was suddenly hit with a rush of feelings and immediately started thinking about my life to this point. I can't quite explain it, but it was as if everything in my life that I cherished and adored brought me to this moment, and it made me cry, but also smile. Life hasn't been the easiest. I don't think I know anyone who has had an easy life, but if that's you, you're lucky, and I mean this in the most genuine way possible. Good for you. I've already touched on my personal journey a little bit here, but I have had some pretty dark moments in my life. I had to grow up quickly, navigate the ins and outs of that while still trying to live a normal teenage life. constantly striving to maintain the image my family had of me, while always trying to be better than that image, and staying true to myself. Doing that caused me to lose myself for a long time, and although I had some good experiences on my journey to discover who I truly am, I had a lot of pain, caused a lot of pain and hurt for others. I even attempted to stop living at one point, but I'm glad I failed. I'm glad I had all of these experiences. If I hadn't, I wouldn't have had this moment to reflect and to feel the emotions I felt at her words, to realize how life really has been so worthwhile.
Tell me this, and tell me true. Has your journey been good? Has it been worthwhile?
Don't make me cry. This is a powerful scene. The final days are upon the world of Aetheris. The sky seems to literally be falling, and the people around Matzia are turning into blasphemies, creatures that form when the people are overcome by fear and despair. As he is running with the baby, he is panicked. The sky is red and seems to tear open as the blasphemies loom around him, trying to make him succumb to his despair. As he runs, he starts to recite the scripture of his people to calm himself and give him strength.
Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. To live is to suffer, to drink of calamity. It is a perilous path. Death lurks in the dark.
Know this, my children, there is more ugliness than beauty in this world. To live is to suffer, to drink of calamity and drown in anguish. To toil and be tested always and ever, 'tis a perilous path you walk. Death lurks in the dark, and is the sole promise that awaits at journey's end. You will tremble with terror, you will weep tears of anger and despair, but do not avert your eyes. See your life for what it is. Then you will see how hardships make you strong, every doubt reforged as scales for your armor, every agony to temper your blade. He must not give in to his fear and sadness, lest it consume him and turn him into a blasphemy. The words he recites give him strength, and I think that they speak volumes of truth. Living is suffering sometimes. We get hurt, sick, and our hearts get broken. Terrible things happen every day that are outside of our control, but it is up to us individually to respond and decide if we will allow ourselves to be consumed by these tragedies, or if we will use them to strengthen us and rise above them. I feel like this moment with Matzia was a scenario we can all relate to. The dread of the unknown, when life seems out of our control and we begin to feel trapped, like nothing will get better. I think everyone has felt sadness and anxiety to this degree before, and it is stifling and terrifying. How can we move forward? It's in these moments, whether it is caused by our own brains or a world outside of us, that we have to take the power back. We cannot let these scenarios extinguish our flames. We have to keep moving forward, using this experience to sharpen our defenses. Not only that, but we need to come out stronger and with more love than when we started. While there's a lot that happens during this scene, there is something that struck me and brought back a memory of my grandmother. If you know the scene, maybe that's strange, but hear me out. The character Vina ultimately acts like a god of sorts to the warrior of light. In this scene, she is walking through the vastness of time and space and is gradually becoming more covered in this black tar-like substance, which represents her own pain and suffering. The scene randomly cuts to the warrior of light during one of the biggest fights of the last expansion, as if she has actually been walking along with us this whole time. My brain went to the poem Footprints in the Sand. That poem holds a special place in my heart. My grandmother had a framed artwork that displayed the poem. When I was younger, I always thought it was funny because she just had some sandy footprints hanging on her wall. As I got older, I learned the message of the poem. and it didn't really resonate with me much until a few years ago. I was going through a hard time in life, mostly because of my own personal choices, and I rediscovered my spiritual connection with my God, and it's really helped me to get in touch with myself and helped me to navigate the trying times I was working through. Sometimes I truly felt alone in these moments, knowing that I had a God there who was always at my side or carrying me through these things was very profound for me. It helped me to begin the process of actually liking myself again, which hadn't been something I'd felt since I was probably that little girl laughing at my grandmother's framed photo. When we see the scene of Vina walking, that is immediately what I thought of. How she was actually carrying the warrior of light through, even if it felt like she'd abandoned us. To know that there is a God that cares so deeply for her children that she will take the blows with us is indescribable to me. I get chills even thinking about it right now. Her words in this moment also echo how I've been feeling about life lately. As fractured, imperfect beings, your life is a never-ending quest. A quest to find your purpose, knowing your end is assured. To find the strength to continue when all strength has left you, to find joy even as darkness descends, and amidst deepest despair, light everlasting. You cannot stop suffering, but you can find a way to live through it, and should, using it to find meaning. I could say so much about this scene, about Urianger and his relationship with Moonbrita. I cried, of course. It's a beautiful moment. Urianger is told things he's always desired to hear from someone, but never knew how to convey it. I think that's what impacted me the most. Moonbrita's parents give such gentle and loving words to this man whom they knew as a boy. To hear them say how proud they were of him. When I first saw this scene, I just felt love for the friends I have had in the past. The long-lost friends, not because of death, but because time drew us apart. I felt as if I were hearing the words I needed to hear, as if I was being given a gentle reassurance that, though time has separated us, we are still rooting for each other. While it is not quite the same grief, there is a certain grief to losing friendship. I can't even remember what my last conversations were with those friends, or half of the things we even talked about. But I can remember how being with them made me feel, and I often find myself wondering where they are and how they are doing, if they have families of their own now, etc. This scene was so healing in that regard, in some small way.
Silly boy. We are all powerless before such grief. Even now, try as I might, the words escape me. But in our hearts, we know, we always know.
Endwalker was cathartic for me. It helped me reflect, grieve, and ultimately grow. There's so much more I could say about the way this expansion made me feel, about each individual character's story arc, and my experience overall with the community. But maybe that will wait for another day. I am so glad that I was able to be here on this earth to experience it. Lord knows, I certainly tried not to be. I leave you with one last quote from the game that really speaks volumes to me and has been my mantra for so long now. We rise, fall, and rise again. If you have made it this far, I just want to extend my deepest gratitude to you. Thank you to my subscribers and my patrons for continuing to support me in all of my endeavors. I also want to say thank you to Game Drops for the background music. If you want to watch my journey in its entirety, the playlist for my Endwalker VODs is in the description below. And if you want to be a part of my streaming community, you can follow me here or on Twitch. Thank you a million times over. Until next time.